Hey there, my name's Eli, and today we're going to be going through Acts 1 through 10 in a sort of minimalistic guide that I've created for you. Now, before we dive right in, I want to set the stage and get your expectations to the right place for what this guide is. First off, I'm assuming that you're familiar enough with Path of Exile or ARPGs in general that you know you'll need to advance your quest state in order to move forward from zone to zone, and multiple times usually within that zone. For example, in Act 3, when you rescue Tolman and you talk to Clarissa to get the sewer keys, that's advancing the quest state. Secondly, Path of Exile likes to throw twists and turns into its maps to make it difficult for you to go from point A to B. While there will be a map in the lower left that shows where you start and where I want you to go, know that Path of Exile is going to try to make this usually more difficult than you'd like it to be. In zones where this is guaranteed or you may expect to backtrack, I do make a note of it. And finally, I would call this a minimalistic guide because I go through Acts 1 through 10 in about 30 minutes. For example, Act 1 takes just under 4 minutes. This is not an exhaustive all-quest guide. I do point you in the direction on getting skill point quests if they are convenient. If they're not convenient, I'll note that too. This guide is meant for essentially anyone that is not a veteran player with 3,000 hours in the game, knows every quest backwards and forwards. What this guide does do is tell you exactly how to get through the zone and through the maps as fast as possible. Now, just a couple more things and we'll get to it. This guide represents many, many hours of work on my part to bring to you. If you like it, if you find it helpful, it would really help me if you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, all that good stuff. And lastly, after the guide's done, I do have some tips and tricks at the end for League Start that I use. Okay, here we go. For the coast, the waypoint is going to be in the north here. The exit to the Mud Geyser will be north of the waypoint, and the exit to the Tidal Island will be east of the waypoint. In the mudflats, you'll need to find the 3 glyphs in order to move forward. The way forward will either be north, northeast, or northwest. In the submerged passage, the way forward is most likely going to be east across a bridge, and then north once you've crossed that bridge. If you intend to find the Dweller of the Deep here for the passive point, the exit to his zone is most likely to the south before the bridge to the east. If it's not to the south, check the north area from the waypoint, or go due east from the waypoint. Keep in mind the Dweller of the Deep's zone will never spawn across the bridge. The ledge is as straightforward as it gets, just follow the only direction you can go. For the climb, the waypoint is going to be somewhere to the east or northwest of your starting point. The exit to the next zone will be north. If you head north, you'll find Navali trapped in a cage. Kill the giant goat that comes in to free her. She's who you turn in prophecies to. The exit to the next zone is going to be north of Navali. It may be northwest, it may be northeast. For the prison, the 2 most likely areas of the way forward are either going to have you go north and then east and then south, or reverse that and go south, then east, and then north. If you happen to find the way forward first, keep in mind that there is a trial of ascendancy here, and you'll find that most likely on the opposite path. Finding the way forward in the upper prison isn't as set in stone. I've had the most luck finding it to the south, but you'll need to pick a direction and hope for the best. The following subzone has only one way forward, and then on to fight Brutus. For the prisoner's gate, walk down the stairs and you'll find the waypoint. From there, start by running along the wall to the east and going north. Follow the edge of the map to the north and then to the west. The passageway will be in one of these areas. You'll hit another open area where you repeat this process. Keep repeating until you hit the 3rd open area. This is where you should find the way forward. In the ship graveyard, most likely the waypoint for this area is going to be northeast from the exit. If you can only go west, then the waypoint should still be to the north and somewhere east. It will almost always spawn near Fairgraves. The way forward to Mervale's Caverns is going to be northwest. If you intend to do the ship graveyard caves, as in the passive point quest with Fairgraves, find the way forward first and enter that zone because the waypoint there is at the start. Most of the time in doing this, you'll have found the entrance to the ship graveyard cave, which is where the item is that you need to kill Fairgraves. Once you have both the waypoint in Mervale's Caverns, as well as the ship graveyard, you can teleport back to the ship graveyard and use your already uncovered map to go to the graveyard cave. The graveyard cave is much like the ledge in that there's only one way forward, except it does have annoying dead ends. There are 2 levels to Mervale's Caverns. In both of these zones, first in Mervale's Caverns, and then in the boss zone, the way forward is going to be somewhere to the north. It might be a little northwest, it might be a little northeast. It's most likely going to be north or northwest. Keep in mind, these are caverns, so you may have to twist and turn and move about the level in odd ways in order to reach this side of the map. Welcome to Act 2. In the southern forest, we're going to start by moving west and then north along the wall. The way forward into town is going to be north. If you go north out of town, you'll be in the old fields. Follow the road up to the north. In the crossroads, the waypoint is going to be in the middle of the map, and the way to the broken bridge will be north along the road, and the way to the Chamber of Sins will be to the northwest. In the broken bridge, the waypoint is going to be somewhere along the winding road, and the bandit you need to find to either help or kill is going to be in the east, or rarely to the north. Whichever way it is, the road does lead to him. In the Chamber of Sins level 1, we have our first more random zone in terms of layout. In my experience, the way forward is most likely in the north or northwest, but you may have to just pick a direction and explore. Luckily, the zone isn't too big. In the Chamber of Sins level 2, the Trial of Ascendancy is most likely going to be to the south and then west, and the way to the boss is most likely going to be to the north and then the northwest. If we go southeast from the crossroads, we'll hit the Fell Shrine Ruins. In the Fell Shrine Ruins, if we follow the road completely until we get to a cathedral entrance, and then head to the northeast, we'll find the crypt. Within the crypt is another Trial of Ascendancy. Heading south out of town, you'll hit the riverways. The waypoint is going to be along the road, but the road will break apart in areas, forcing you to either use a travel skill or to move around it. Either way, once you hit the waypoint, the way up to the wetlands will be to the northwest of the waypoint, and the way to the western forest will be continuing to follow the road in the same direction that led you to the waypoint. In the western forest, follow the road south to find the waypoint. Alira, one of the other bandits, is going to be either on the west or east side of the map. This map hints where she is, most often with a fire. Whichever side of the road this fire is on, that's the direction Alira is. If you keep heading south to the bottom of the level, you'll find the unique mob that you need to kill in order to get your skill point. Don't forget to place the thaumatic emblem once you get it. The Weaver's Chambers is typically on the opposite side of the map that Alira's on, and always going to be in the north, so it'll either be the northeast or the northwest. This is another one of the random tile set zones where the way forward isn't clear. Pick a direction and start exploring. In the wetlands, you'll find the third and final bandit, Oak. He most often resides somewhere in the middle of the map, often to the southeast just a little bit. Then, the way forward is also next to the waypoint, almost always to the center west of the map. In order to progress through the Vale Ruins to the exit, you'll need to find the big stone orb that you need to push over the side. This orb typically resides in the southwest part of the map, but the way the map is laid out, you typically need to go north or south first in order to get there. Once you find the stone orb and topple it over, there's only one direction to go, to the way forward. For the northern forest, the way forward is going to be at the north end of the map. The northeast section of this map will be blocked off, and you can hug this wall all the way to the way forward. You'll also hit the waypoint doing this. The cavern starts out in a ledge-like map where there's only one way forward. This will lead you to the temple itself, where the waypoint resides. Once you're inside the temple, you'll need to find stairs all the way up to the top, where you fight the Act 2 boss. There's no rhyme or reason to the location of the stairs up, so get to searching. Welcome to the City of Sarn, Act 3. You only have one direction to go, that's northwest. You'll very quickly find Clarissa, who is chained up, and you'll need to kill the unique mob guard. Once you do, wait for her to get up, talk to her, and go to the west and then northwest to enter the city. When you enter the slums, you'll likely find the sewer grate either to the north northwest, or northeast relatively close to the entrance to the zone. This is good because you'll be coming back here in short order. There isn't a more likely spot on the map as to where the way forward to the crematorium spawns, so pick a direction and start searching. The waypoint here will be as you enter, and from here, pick either north or south, and keep going until you hit the staired room where Piety is waiting for you with her guards. Kill her, interact with Tolman, pick up the item, and head back to town to talk to Clarissa to get the sewer keys. Also, keep in mind there is a trial of ascendancy here. In the sewers, there's a skill point quest that requires you to get 3 busts that are hidden under stashes. Typically, 2 of the busts are in the south end of the map, with the other bust and way forward in the north end. The map is split in the center where you'll find the waypoint and the blocked entryway. The way forward is always in the northwest corner of the map. In the marketplace, you'll want to go either northwest or northeast. Once you pass through an area with a bunch of statues that come to life with a big unique one, you'll know you're headed to the waypoint. Near the waypoint, you can head into the catacombs where another trial of ascendancy awaits. For the way forward, you want to head west, northwest, or north from the waypoint. There is a quest item that you can pick up here. Do not ever pick up this quest item, as it will stay in your inventory until you complete the quest, and it is super dumb. From the entrance of the battlefront, you'll want to head west. You'll find the waypoint here, along with the quest item that you need to pick up just southwest of the waypoint. Go northwest from the waypoint/quest item spot to go to the docks. In the docks map, there's typically 3 main roads that branch off. Sometimes there's 4. One of these roads has the waypoint, and one of these has the quest item. Unless you're lacking in levels and specifically need to level up right here, there's no reason you need to come back to the docks once you have the quest item. So don't worry about getting the waypoint. To get to the Solaris Temple, head back to the Battlefront's waypoint, and then go due north. You'll find it. For both the Solaris Temple Level 1 and Solaris Temple Level 2, you'll want to follow the red carpet on the floor. It will guide you to the next zone, or to the NPC that you have to talk to in order to advance your quest. For Solaris Temple Level 1, you're typically going to be heading to the northwest. And for Solaris Temple Level 2, you're typically going to be heading to the southwest. After finishing the docks and Solaris Temple Level 2, we'll head back to the sewers, unlock the weird growth next to the waypoint, and head over to the Ebony Barracks. Here, we're heading northwest. We'll hit the waypoint right away, and then we'll fight Gravicius, and we'll keep heading northwest to find our entrance to the Lunaris Temple. For the Lunaris Temple Level 1, we're going to follow the same idea of the Solaris Temple, where we follow the carpet and look for our way down. Typically, the way forward is going to be in the southwest, west, or northwest. For Level 2, we're essentially picking a direction and looking for stairs that lead us up. These don't lead us to new zones, they simply lead us higher in elevation within the same map. Eventually, you'll reach a spot where you can either go left or right. Whichever cardinal directions these happen to be, pick one. If it's a dead end, you'll come up to it quickly and you'll have to turn around. Go the other way, and there's really only one direction you can go to fight Piety. Once we've beaten Piety, head back to the Ebony Barracks. From the waypoint, head straight north, and you'll reach the Imperial Gardens entrance. The Imperial Gardens has a waypoint typically in the center of the zone, and the way forward is always going to be to the northeast, and the Ascendancy Trial will always be north and maybe a little bit northwest of the waypoint. The Scepter of God has multiple levels for each zone. There are 2 zones within here. The Scepter of God Level 1, you're searching just like you did in the temple at the end of Act 2 for stairs up. When you find the stairs to the second level of the Scepter of God, you'll be where the waypoint can be found. You can choose to get this or not, up to you. Repeat this process for Level 2. The way to reach the roof will be in the north part of the map. And once you're on the roof, kill Dominus, kill his pets, and move forward to Act 4. For the aqueduct, the only way to go is to the northwest. You may have to alternate between sides of the map, but eventually you will come up to Highgate. Heading southwest out of town brings you to the Dried Lake. Here you're looking for a small arena, which will have a unique mob that you need to kill in order to get a quest item. He'll spawn anywhere between the southwest, south, and southeast portions of the map. After completing the Dried Lake quest, you can head northwest out of town into the mines. From the entrance, you'll need to head southwest and then you're looking for the way forward to the northwest end of the map. In the Mines level 2, you can locate the Ghost Spirit and touch it to get the passive skill point quest complete. Watch out for the unique mob that throws hammers. It hits pretty hard for this level. To find the way forward from the Mines level 2, the map most often is going to ask you to go to the southeast, and then down to the southwest, and then up to the northwest. The Crystal Veins is a bit of a winding cave, but most often the way forward and waypoint is going to be in the northwest section of the map. From here, you can pick to go to Duresso's or Comb's Dream. In Duresso's Dream, the way forward to the Grand Arena is going to be in the north end of the map. Because of how the map is laid out, you may have to go to the east and west intermittently to get there. The Grand Arena is filled with short passageways and small arenas. I find if I pick a westerly direction, I most often get to the boss faster, but that may not be the case for you. Make sure to pick up the quest item from Duresso. Comb's Dream typically forces you to move west and east and north around the map in a somewhat annoying way, but the way forward is always going to be in the northwest. So as long as you're traveling that general direction, you're good. Comb's Stronghold is less winding as his dream map, and the arena for the boss fight is going to also be in the northwest. Remember to pick up his quest item. After turning in the quest items to Dahlia in the Crystal Veins, we move forward into the belly of the beast. This is another map of winding tunnels, but the way down to level 2 is going to be in the western part of the map. You may have to go north, northwest, and then southwest in order to get there. The same rule applies for level 2, where you'll eventually find Piety, fight her, kill her, to move forward. In the Harvest, you'll find the waypoint in the center of the map, along with the way forward and Piety. In order to unlock the Malachi boss fight, we need to first go to the northeast, and then to the south, and then to the west, and kill our 3 mini-bosses. Collect their quest items, come back to the waypoint, and fight Malachi. The way forward to Act 5 afterwards is in the northeastern section of town. After defeating Malachi, we can go to the Ascent. The way forward is going to involve us going north, and then across a bridge to the northwest, and then west a little bit to our teleportation device. Welcome to Act 5. In the slave pens, we're going to want to go east, and then south, and then west. We'll fight a unique mob, and that will drop the ladder into the Overseer's Tower. Heading north out of town brings us to the control blocks. In the northwest edge of the map, we'll find the skill point quest item, and then most often in the northeastern section of the map, we'll find the unique mob that we need to kill to get the Eyes of Zeal in order to open the door forward. In the Ruined Square, we want to head to the north end of the map where we'll find our waypoint. From the waypoint, we'll want to head east, as the Torched Courts is going to be in the eastern, northeastern part of the map. Keep in mind, you may not be able to go straight to it. You may have to go southwest, and then southeast, and then northeast to get to the Torched Courts. In the Torched Courts, the way forward is going to be in the southwest portion of the map. The way the map is laid out, it will require you to go to the east, and then south, and then west in order to get there. In the Chamber of Innocence, the boss fight is going to be in the southeast corner of the map. However, like the Torched Courts, you need to go a different path to get there, initially to the northwest, and then to the southwest, then southeast, and then northeast. If you want to get another passive point, you'll head to the Reliquary. From the Ruined Square waypoint, the Reliquary entrance is going to be in the southeastern portion of the map, below Utila. Within the Reliquary, you need to find 3 quest items. These are each at the corners of the map, typically to the north or northwest, 1 to the east, and 1 to the south. On to the Cathedral rooftop. From the Ruined Square waypoint, we'll want to head southwest, and when we hit the big open space, we'll go west and northwest. Once we enter the Cathedral rooftop zone, we'll want to go northwest where the boss fight entrance is. Fight and kill Kitava, and move forward to Act 6. From town, you can go southwest into the Twilight Strand. If you kill all monsters here, Lily Roth will start selling all gems in town. Head north out of town to the coast, and this is the same zone as before in Act 1. We'll head to the northeast to find the waypoint, and the way forward into the Mudflats. In the Mudflats, we need to find the unique mob that spawns to the north section of the map. The way forward will be back in between the unique mob spawn and the entrance to the zone, up to the northwest. In the Karui Fortress, we're looking for the boss fight section in the middle of the map, and from there the way forward will be to the north, slightly northwest. In the ridge, the waypoint will spawn right at the start, and this is another one of those winding zones, but the way forward is going to be in the north or northwestern section of the map. In the prison, we'll come up to the waypoint by default, and this is another one of those winding zones. Typically, the way up is going to be to the southeast. This is into Shavron's Tower. Keep in mind there's also a Trial of Ascendancy here. Once we get into Shavron's Tower, it's another multi-level zone, and there's really only one direction that you can go in order to find the way up. On the third level, the entrance to the boss fight will be in the middle of the map. Kill Shavron and Brutus, and move forward. The Prisoner's Gate also poops you out right next to the waypoint, and you can follow the road to the Western Forest to move forward, or you can travel along the eastern side of the map up north in order to find the Cloven Ones zone. This is an extra skill point quest that I personally choose not to do until I'm much higher level, and I come back and zoom with my move skills. In the Western Forest, simply follow the road to the waypoint and the way forward. For the riverways, again, follow the road. When you come to a dead end, move to the southeast and you'll find the way forward. If you like, you can go to the wetlands, which should spawn to the northwestern section of the map, off the road. This is another skill point quest that I choose to do later on. The Southern Forest layout tries to trick you. First, you'll need to move east. However, you immediately want to be moving north to find a set of land bridges that are connected by fallen wood trees. You'll move north, and then northeast, and then southeast and east. This will lead you to the northeastern section of the map, where the waypoint and the way forward are located. In the Cavern of Anger, you'll be met with a quest item that you'll want to take. Move forward into the passage, and the way forward to the beacon will be either in the eastern side of the map or the northwestern or northern parts of the map. This is a winding zone, so expect to backtrack a little bit. At the beacon, you'll move northeast, and you'll have to walk along doing an escort quest, essentially, to activate the beacon at the very northern part of the map, which is where you'll use the quest item that you just received in the Cavern of Anger. After completing both sides of the escort and activating the beacon, Whalem will show up and you can access the way forward. For the Brine King's Reef, the way forward to the boss fight is most often to the southeast, but it can also be to the northwest as well. Pick a direction and good luck. Head northwest out of town and you'll enter the Broken Bridge. Follow the road in order to enter the crossroads. In the crossroads, continue following the road to the southwest to come to the waypoint. You can either go southeast towards the Fell Shrine Ruins, or you can go northwest into the Chamber of Sins. Move through the Fell Shrine Ruins the same way we did in Act 2, and you'll come to the crypt. Within the crypt's first area, you'll find a Trial of Ascendancy, and then you'll find a sarcophagus that leads you to a lower level containing Maligaro's map, a quest item we need. Heading northwest from the crossroads, we'll come to the Chamber of Sins. In the middle of this map is the waypoint and Maligaro. Since we have Maligaro's map after going to the crypt, place that in the map device and head to Maligaro's map. Within Maligaro's zone, you'll want to head to the northwest in order to find him. Kill him, his mini-bosses, and take the venom back to Maligaro, back at the waypoint in the Chamber of Sins. This will give you the key to unlock the Chamber of Sins level 2. Unlike its Act 2 counterpart, you may find the way forward in either the western part of the map or in the northwestern part, as opposed to only the north or northwest. Keep in mind there's also a Trial of Ascendancy here. Once in the den, there's really only one way forward, with small paths that split off to the side that are dead ends. As long as you aren't hitting a dead end, you're doing fine. In the Ashen Field, we'll find the waypoint immediately. Follow the road to the southwest, and you'll find the boss fight. Kill the boss, unlock your path forward to the Northern Forest. Like its Act 2 counterpart, the Northern Forest's way forward is going to be hugging the wall to the north. However, we need to take a short detour, most often to the western side of the map, near the beginning. We'll need to enter the Dread Thicket and find our fireflies. I recommend going into the subzone here to find and kill the boss mob in order to get a convenient skill point. Once we have those, we can go back to the Northern Forest and continue our way forward to the north. In the Causeway, the way forward is to the north, where we'll find both a quest item and the waypoint. For the Vale City, we're looking for a section that is in the western center of the map. You'll also find the waypoint here, and the NPC that you can turn in the fireflies to gain access to the Temple of Decay. The Temple of Decay is a multi-leveled zone. You'll have one level down in stairs, and then you'll find the entrance to level 2. Typically, to find the stairs, you'll want to move southeast, and then to level 2, you'll typically want to move to the northwest. This is a zone that can change, so these are just generalities. In level 2, you're looking for 2 sets of stairs before you find the entrance to the boss room, which is typically to the north after the second set of stairs. Kill the boss, and on to Act 8. Upon entering Act 8, we'll hit the Sarn Ramparts. Locate the wall, usually to the north, and follow it, typically to the east and southeast. By doing this, you'll find a way up to the top of the wall, follow the only direction you can really go, and down eventually into town. In town, head west from Clarissa, and you'll enter the preliminary map to the toxic conduits. To enter Dodre's cesspool, you'll need to find the way forward in either the southwest or the northeast section of the map, most likely. After finding the cesspool, Dodre's arena is typically on the west side of the map. Fight Dodre, kill her, and move to the sewer outlet. This is your toxic conduits waypoint. If you went northeast from the toxic conduits waypoint, you'll enter the Quay. There is a skill point quest here that isn't too far out of the way. You'll need to find the Ankh. From your starting point in this zone, you'll want to find an area that breaks off, typically to the south, very close to the entrance of the zone. Here you'll find mobs guarding a box that has the Ankh. Grab it and proceed forward through the zone. There's really only one direction you can go. Whether you find the way forward into the Grain Gate or the Resurrection Site first is somewhat up to luck, but I do recommend grabbing the Resurrection Site passive skill point fight first. In the Grain Gate, we also have an easy skill point by fighting a group of easy unique mobs, typically spawning in the north center of the map. Once you find them, the way forward is typically to the northeast. In the Imperial Fields, you'll find the waypoint if you follow the road, typically in the center of the map. The way forward is going to be in the northwestern and northern parts of the map. Much like its Act 3 counterpart, the Solaris Temple has a level down, and in this case it has a way forward over to the Solaris Concourse. If you happen to find the Solaris Concourse, you can find the waypoint relatively quickly by jumping over to the middle of that map, it's not very large, and then doubling back to find the Solaris Temple level 2 way down exit. You can use the rugs again on the floor in this map to direct you on where you want to go. When you hit level 2, the boss is typically going to be in the southwestern part of the map, but this is a semi-random zone, so pick a direction, follow the rug, and good luck. Going west out of the toxic conduit zone, we hit the Grand Promenade. The way forward here is to the north, and partially northwest. In the bathhouse, the way forward is typically going to be in the northwest or northeastern part of the zone. In the center west part of the zone, you can go to the High Garden, which is a straightforward zone leading you to a mini-boss fight for a passive skill point. This mini-boss deals a lot of cold damage, both up front and damage over time, so it may be worthwhile skipping and coming back to him. Keep in mind there's also a Trial of Ascendancy here. In the Lunaris Concourse, we'll go northeast and we'll find the waypoint. Head northwest from the waypoint to go to the Lunaris Temple. The Lunaris Temple, just like the Solaris Temple, has a level 2, and the layout functions very similar to that of Act 3. Pick a direction and locate the boss in level 2, pick up the quest item, and head back to the waypoint in the Lunaris Concourse. From the Lunaris Concourse, head southeast to the Harbor Bridge. Head northeast when you enter this zone. You'll get to the center where the boss fight zone exists. Place the 2 orbs you got out of the Solaris and Lunaris temples into the holder, fight the boss, and move forward to Act 9. The Blood Aqueduct functions the same as its Act 4 counterpart. The way forward to town is all the way to the northwest. From town, we'll head northeast into the Descent. Within this zone, we'll want to find the pulley systems to the east side of the zone. There are 3 of these, and on the final one, you will make your way into the next zone. From the entrance of the Vastiri Desert, we'll want to head to the east, perhaps southeast. The waypoint should be somewhere in the middle of the zone. From the middle of the zone, we can head to the northwest to enter the foothills, and the way to the oasis will be either to the north or northeast. Within the foothills, the waypoint is most likely in the center of the zone. And the boiling lake is going to be to the north, slightly northeast perhaps, and the tunnel is going to be to the west or northwest. I'll cover the boiling lake here real quick. When you get in the zone, the basilisk is going to be on the north end of the map. Kill it and take the acid. In the tunnel, there's really only one direction you can go, and you'll find the waypoint along the way. Keep in mind there's also a trial of ascendancy here. For the quarry, the waypoint is in the middle of the map, which is also the way forward into the next zone, after you complete a few quests. Part of that involves going north to the refinery. However, there is also a passive point area within this zone, and it'll be either on the west side or the east side. This is an arena called the Shrine of the Winds. The refinery really only has one way to go to the boss mob, but it'll make you work for it. Be prepared to backtrack. Once you beat the boss, you can go through the door and get his quest item. This, along with the basilisk acid, is what you need to progress forward. After completing the refinery and boiling lake quests, you can unlock the belly of the beast. The most likely way forward into the rotting core is going to be in the southwest corner of this map. As is tradition with these tunnel-like maps, it's going to try to give you the most absurd possible pathing. Just try to continue moving towards the southwest. Once you reach the rotting core, Sin will open up 3 portals to 3 mini-boss zones. There's only one direction you can go in these zones. Kill the 3 bosses, come back, enter the final area that Sin unlocks, kill the boss, and move forward to Act 10. From town, we'll head north onto the cathedral rooftop. In this zone, we'll head to the northwest in order to enter a mini-zone where we free Bannon. Once complete, head back southeast to the bottom of the zone, and the way forward to the Ravaged Square will either be on the northern side of the southeast corner or the southern side. Most often, it's on the northern side. The extra skill point here from the Ravaged Square is going to be in the control blocks. If you head to the southwest corner of the map from the waypoint, you'll find it here. Within this zone, the entryway to the boss fight is going to be most typically all the way to the west side of the map. Once we enter the Ravaged Square, we're going to want to head east and then north as soon as we can. This will lead us to the waypoint. From here, just as before, we're going to head to the east, where the Torched Courts entrance is. Again, we may have to go south and then east and then north to reach that zone. Once we're in the Torched Courts, this pathing may sound familiar. We're going to head east and then south and then west, as the entryway to the Desecrated Chambers is in the southwest portion of the map. Once in the Desecrated Chambers, we are again going to go northwest and then southwest, southeast, and then north into the boss fight. After killing Avarius in the Desecrated Chamber, head back to town, advance your quest state, and move back to the Ravaged Square. Just to the east, we'll find Innocence, and he will open up the gateway to the canals. In the canals, the way forward is always going to be in the northwest part of the map, but you'll have to move either east or west, and then north. Once you pass through there, you'll be in the feeding trough. Again, move to the northwest section of the map. You will eventually find Sin and Innocence, and your entryway to the final fight with Kataba. Congratulations, you're the best, and I always knew you could do it. Now, a couple of things that I do in order to make my life easier at the League start. Let's start first with the Chaos Recipe. So the Chaos Recipe is item level 60 through 74 rare items, okay? So you get a full set of gear, as in weapon, all of these slots right here, right? Everything except for the trinket. That's not a thing. So you get a full set of that, and you turn it into a vendor, and you get Chaos Orbs. If you get a full set ID'd, it's 1 Chaos. If it's un-ID'd, you get 2 Chaos. The way I like to organize that is I'll set a tab aside, like this for example, and I will go down the line here. So I'll put all of my chess pieces all the way across. We'll go to the left like this as I build them up, maybe 3 or 4 sets, and down the line just like this. I put the 2-hand weapons on the left so I can control click them in, and you just build up your jewelry and all this to the left, and you turn in sets as you fill up the tab. Obviously, this is easier if you have a quad tab where you can fit, I believe, 2 full sets comfortably within this. As you can see here, I also have a tab for my veiled items that I need to unveil at some point. Now that we have stash tab affinities and folders, and we can just hop out of a map and control click all of our stuff, it makes sense for the things that we can't do that with to have a dedicated spot for them, so that I could just leave this up right here, hop out of a map, toss in anything unveiled, control click all of my other stuff that I found, automatically goes where it's supposed to go, and then I hop right back into another map. However this setup makes sense for you, just make sure you minimize the time between maps so you can maximize the rewards you get while you're playing. If you're going to be leveling multiple characters up this league to 85, 90, 95, it makes a whole lot of sense to get on your swap as soon as you can, getting 2 one-handed weapons that have the plus X percentage quality of gems, and throwing in enlightens, empowers, or enhances, whichever ones are going to be the most valuable. Typically, this is enlighten. Sometimes in some leagues, it's empower. It kind of depends. But you can't go wrong leveling up enlightens to level 3, and then either selling them as uncorrupted level 3s for someone else to gamble on, or taking the gamble yourself. One thing I've seen a lot of players do is they push Veil buff skills off to the side until they're sort of in their min-maxing phase of their character. Make sure that you get either your Veil Clarity, your Veil Grace, Veil Haste, even if you don't use these auras statically all the time. Make sure that you have them so that you can boost yourself when you need to in order to push yourself through the yellow tier maps into red or what have you. These skills are hugely powerful and can make or break your efficiency when you're trying to get ahead of the league.